What if you suddenly lost everything and had no one by your side? That was the question pounding through Elon Musk's mind as the auditorium lights dimmed and the crowd's excited murmur turned into tense silence. Tonight was supposed to be a historic night, the unveiling of his newest invention, something he believed would change the game forever. But instead, a sudden technical glitch flickered across the giant screen behind him, a whispered rumor of sabotage echoed through the room, and his carefully built reputation trembled on the edge of collapse. The world was watching, their eyes sharp and judgmental. The launch, meant to be the crescendo of years of work, threatened to implode in front of thousands of reporters, investors, and supporters. What if this failure marked the end? Would he be able to rise from the ashes once again? Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? Elon's story was never simple or smooth. From the start, he had defied odds and expectations, clawing his way through countless obstacles. Tonight was no different, but the stakes felt higher. Every inch of his career had been a battle, from his early days coding in a cramped South African bedroom to the tumultuous rides of Tesla and SpaceX. Behind his public persona was a man driven by a fierce vision and haunted by doubts. The glitch was just a symptom of deeper tensions, public skepticism, corporate sabotage, and the gnawing fear that innovation itself was a double-edged sword. The crowd's whispers swelled as the screen flashed errors. Elon felt his pulse spike. He steadied himself, remembering the countless nights spent in isolation, the betrayals by those closest to him, the near bankruptcies that almost crushed his spirit. What was it that always pushed him forward? Was it his unyielding belief in a better future, or the memory of moments when failure was not an option? Tonight, with everything on the line, Elon decided to confront the storm head-on. He raised his voice above the noise, speaking not just as a CEO, but as a man who had lived through hardship and emerged stronger. The glitch faded into the background as he turned the narrative from failure to possibility. Innovation, he said, is never a straight line. It's full of setbacks, surprises, and challenges. But it's those moments that define us. The crowd responded, a mixture of skepticism and hope, mirroring the story Elon himself was living. This invention was more than a machine, it was a testament to resilience, vision, and the power of relentless pursuit. Behind the scenes, the team scrambled to fix the technical issues while Elon prepared for the long journey ahead, one filled with unexpected twists, fierce opposition, and the promise of something revolutionary. This opening moment was not just a setback, it was the spark for a new chapter in Elon Musk's extraordinary journey, one that would challenge everything we thought we knew about technology, ambition, and human will. Elon Musk's story begins far from the glitz and glamour of Silicon Valley, in Pretoria, South Africa, where he was born into a family that was as complex as it was influential. From an early age, Elon showed an insatiable curiosity, devouring books on everything from science fiction to quantum physics, often retreating into the worlds he created inside his mind. His parents, May and Errol Musk, had their own complicated relationship, his mother a model and dietitian with a warm heart and high expectations, his father a brilliant but often distant engineer with a stubborn streak. Elon's childhood was a mixture of loneliness and determination. At school, he was an outsider, frequently bullied for his quiet nature and obsessive focus on academics. But rather than break him, these struggles hardened his resolve. At just 10 years old, Elon taught himself computer programming, spending endless hours coding in the dim glow of a second-hand computer. When he sold his first video game at age 12, it was a glimpse of the extraordinary future he was destined to chase. Yet behind these early triumphs were moments of deep isolation. Elon's relationship with his father was fraught, often marked by clashes over ambition and values. This fractured bond planted seeds of both pain and motivation. The tension taught Elon that he could only rely on himself, fueling his relentless work ethic and fierce independence. The move to Canada as a teenager was another pivotal moment. Leaving behind the familiar but stifling environment of South Africa, Elon sought new opportunities and a fresh start. The transition was not easy, he faced financial struggles, cultural adjustments, and a profound sense of dislocation. Yet these challenges reinforced his resilience and shaped his worldview. University life in North America was a time of both discovery and conflict. At Queen's University and later the University of Pennsylvania, Elon studied physics and economics, but his true education came from his restless mind and insatiable ambition. He was not content to follow a conventional path. Instead, he dreamed of changing the world, envisioning a future where humanity could transcend its limits. The story of Zip2, his first company, reflected this early entrepreneurial spirit. Faced with skepticism and countless obstacles, Elon poured himself into building something revolutionary, selling the company for nearly $300 million. But success was bittersweet. The pressure to deliver and the sacrifices required weighed heavily on him. Personal relationships, including his early marriage, were often strained or sidelined by his single-minded pursuit of innovation. The launch of PayPal was another rollercoaster ride. Elon faced internal power struggles, a boardroom coup that temporarily ousted him, and the high stakes of internet finance during the dot-com boom. Each setback was a lesson in resilience, each victory a step toward a larger vision. Yet Elon remained a polarizing figure, admired for his genius but often criticized for his abrasive style and relentless demands. These early chapters of his life laid the foundation for the man who would later revolutionize multiple industries. The emotional scars and fierce determination were inseparable parts of his identity. Family ties, friendships, and rivalries all contributed to shaping his complex personality, a blend of visionary idealism and ruthless pragmatism. Even as he rose to prominence, Elon struggled with balancing personal happiness and professional ambition. The toll was evident in his public battles and candid moments of vulnerability. He was not a man immune to doubt or fear, rather, he was defined by how he confronted them. The early years were also marked by Elon's fascination with space and sustainable energy, passions that would drive his later ventures. His admiration for Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison connected him to a legacy of inventors who dared to dream beyond the possible. This connection was more than inspiration, it was a challenge to himself to make a mark on history. As Elon navigated his 20s and 30s, the stakes grew higher. The rise of Tesla Motors was a gamble on a future many deemed impossible, a world where electric cars were not just niche curiosities but mainstream vehicles that could disrupt a century-old industry. His vision was ambitious, his methods controversial, and his perseverance legendary. Behind the headlines of launches and failures, there was a man constantly wrestling with doubt and determination. The story of Elon Musk's early life is one of contrasts, between isolation and connection, success and sacrifice, genius and vulnerability. It is these contradictions that make him relatable, inspiring, and human. Through every trial, he learned that the path to greatness is rarely straight, and the cost of innovation is often high. Yet he pushed forward, driven by an unshakable belief that the future could be better. This belief, born in a childhood filled with both struggle and hope, became the heartbeat of everything he did. As he stands on the brink of unveiling his newest invention, that same restless spirit, forged in the fires of his past, propels him into the unknown. The lessons of family, the scars of conflict, and the spark of ambition converge to create a man ready to change the world once again. The rise of Tesla Motors was anything but guaranteed. When Elon Musk first stepped into the world of electric vehicles, skepticism greeted him like a cold wind. The auto industry was dominated by giants who laughed off the idea that a small startup could revolutionize an entire market. But Elon saw what others didn't. A future where clean energy and technology would reshape transportation forever. The story of Tesla is one of persistence through setbacks, near bankruptcy, and relentless innovation. It began with the acquisition of Tesla Motors in 2004, a fledgling company with ambitious goals but limited resources. Elon invested heavily, personally risking millions to keep the vision alive. The early days were grueling. Production delays, design flaws, and supply chain nightmares tested the team's endurance. Investors grew impatient, and competitors mocked the electric car dream as impractical and niche. Yet Elon refused to back down. He believed that the Model S could be a game-changer, combining sleek design, high performance, and zero emissions. To make it happen, Elon demanded everything from himself and his team. Long nights in the factory, high-pressure deadlines, and constant problem-solving became the norm. But these struggles were not without reward. The breakthrough came when Tesla unveiled the Roadster, proving that electric cars could be both fast and desirable. This early success attracted attention, but the real challenge lay ahead: mass production. The Model S launch in 2012 marked a turning point. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement. Critics who had doubted Tesla's potential were forced to reconsider. The vehicle's impressive range, cutting-edge technology, and safety features earned accolades and solidified Tesla's place in the market. However, the path to this triumph was littered with crises. Elon's leadership style, often described as intense and demanding, caused friction within the company. He pushed employees to their limits, sometimes clashing with executives and board members. Rumors of burnout and turnover circulated, but Elon's vision kept the team focused. Meanwhile, the personal cost of this journey weighed heavily on him. His relationships, especially with family and partners, were strained by the relentless pace. Moments of doubt crept in as he faced public criticism and mounting pressure. Tesla's financial stability remained fragile for years. At times, the company teetered on the brink of collapse, saved only by last-minute investments and Elon's own willingness to pour in personal funds. The "funding secured" tweet in 2018, which landed Elon in hot water with regulators, underscored the volatile mix of genius and recklessness that defined him. Despite these challenges, Tesla's innovation never stalled. The development of the Gigafactory aimed to revolutionize battery production, cutting costs and scaling manufacturing. Elon's vision extended beyond cars, toward a sustainable energy ecosystem involving solar power, energy storage, and smart grids. This holistic approach set Tesla apart and laid the foundation for its future growth. The company's rise also sparked cultural shifts. Electric vehicles, once seen as impractical curiosities, became symbols of technological progress and environmental responsibility. Elon's charisma and bold promises galvanized a new generation of engineers, investors, and customers eager to be part of the movement. However, not everyone celebrated Tesla's success. Traditional automakers and oil companies viewed it as a threat, sometimes resorting to aggressive tactics to stifle competition. Regulatory battles, legal disputes, and negative press became part of the landscape Elon navigated. Throughout, he remained undeterred. Tesla's story was about more than cars, it was about pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. The highs and lows shaped Elon's leadership and character. Each crisis forced him to adapt and evolve, blending visionary thinking with practical problem-solving. His emotional journey was marked by resilience and a willingness to confront failure head-on. The triumphs brought moments of pride, but also a deeper understanding of the sacrifices required. In the background of Tesla's rise were Elon's personal relationships, his family, friends, and mentors, who both supported and complicated his path. Balancing these ties with his relentless drive was a constant struggle. The pressure to succeed sometimes came at the expense of intimacy and connection. Yet these bonds remained a crucial part of his story, grounding him when the world felt overwhelming. As Tesla moved toward mass-market models like the Model 3 and beyond, Elon's ambitions expanded. He envisioned a future where electric vehicles were not just environmentally necessary but technologically superior to traditional cars. Autonomous driving, seamless integration with renewable energy, and global infrastructure development were on the horizon. These dreams fueled ongoing innovation but also invited new challenges, technical, financial, and ethical. The rise of Tesla also highlighted the thin line between genius and controversy that Elon walked throughout his career. His public statements, sometimes impulsive or provocative, kept him in the spotlight, both admired and criticized. The pressure of being a visionary leader in a rapidly changing world was immense. Yet he embraced it, knowing that innovation rarely came without risk. Tesla's ascent is a testament to the power of vision, perseverance, and the courage to challenge deeply entrenched industries. It's a story of setbacks and breakthroughs, failures and triumphs, all driven by a man who refused to accept the limits others imposed. Elon Musk's journey with Tesla set the stage for everything that would follow, his relentless pursuit of the future, no matter the cost. As the company grew, so did the stakes, the scrutiny, and the impact. The rise of Tesla was more than a business success, it was a cultural phenomenon that redefined what was possible. Elon's story, full of tension and hope, inspired countless people to believe in change. But beneath the headlines and achievements lay a complex narrative of personal sacrifice, leadership challenges, and the unyielding drive to make the impossible real. This chapter in Elon's life was not just about cars, it was about the birth of a new era. An era where technology, sustainability, and ambition converged to reshape the world, and where Elon Musk stood at the forefront, ready to push even further. While Tesla was revolutionizing the automotive world, Elon Musk's gaze was fixed even higher, toward the stars. SpaceX, founded in 2002, embodied Elon's lifelong dream of making humanity a multiplanetary species. But turning that dream into reality was anything but smooth. From the start, SpaceX faced an uphill battle. Rocket science is notoriously difficult, and Elon was entering an arena dominated by government agencies and established aerospace giants with decades of experience and deep pockets. Critics called his ambitions naive, even reckless. The company's early years were defined by a series of rocket failures that threatened to bury SpaceX before it could take off. The first 3 launches of the Falcon 1 rocket failed spectacularly, wasting millions of dollars and testing Elon's resolve to the limit. Each failure brought a wave of public doubt, investor anxiety, and internal tension. The pressure was suffocating. Elon's leadership style intensified during this period. He demanded absolute commitment from his small but dedicated team, working alongside them in the hangar late into the night, obsessed with every detail. The stakes were immense. Without success, SpaceX would run out of money and face bankruptcy. Elon risked his personal fortune to keep the company afloat, even as critics questioned his sanity. The psychological toll was enormous. Every failed launch felt like a personal defeat, a blow not just to the company but to the vision of humanity's future in space. Yet Elon refused to give up. After the 3rd failed Falcon 1 launch, many expected SpaceX to fold, but Elon and his team persevered, learning from mistakes, redesigning systems, and doubling down on innovation. The breakthrough came in September 2008 when the 4th Falcon 1 rocket successfully reached orbit, marking the first privately developed liquid-fueled rocket to do so. The achievement was monumental, not just for SpaceX but for private space exploration worldwide. Yet even this victory was bittersweet. It arrived just weeks before the global financial crisis, complicating funding efforts and casting a shadow over future prospects. Meanwhile, SpaceX was vying for a critical NASA contract to supply the International Space Station, ISS, a prize that could secure the company's future. The competition was fierce, and Elon knew failure was not an option. Months of intense work culminated in the successful launch of the Falcon 9 rocket and the Dragon capsule's first missions. The milestones validated years of struggle and risk, earning SpaceX contracts and credibility. But the journey was far from over. The pressure to innovate and deliver on increasingly ambitious goals mounted. SpaceX's ultimate vision, to colonize Mars, was a dream that demanded technology far beyond anything tested before. Elon poured energy into developing the Starship, a massive rocket designed for deep space travel. The design and testing phases brought new challenges, technical setbacks, public scrutiny, and regulatory hurdles. Each test flight was a high-stakes gamble, with explosions and crashes making headlines. Internally, the team grappled with tight deadlines and the physical and emotional exhaustion that accompanied pushing the boundaries of aerospace engineering. The public and investors were split. Some inspired by Elon's vision, others skeptical or fearful of the risks. Throughout, Elon maintained his characteristic mix of optimism and intensity. His public statements ranged from inspiring manifestos about humanity's destiny to blunt reminders of the risks and sacrifices involved. The tension between visionary goals and practical realities defined the SpaceX story. On a personal level, the demands of SpaceX strained Elon's relationships. The time and focus required meant less presence at home and fewer moments to recharge. Friends and family expressed concern, but Elon felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. He was convinced that failure was not an option, not just for his companies but for the future of civilization itself. The challenges of leading SpaceX brought new lessons about leadership, resilience, and innovation. Elon learned to navigate complex engineering problems while managing a growing company under intense scrutiny. He developed a deep respect for the team's dedication and expertise, even as his high expectations sometimes sparked conflicts. The pressure cooker environment forged a culture of relentless problem-solving and adaptation. The story of SpaceX's rise is not just about rockets but about the human spirit confronting seemingly impossible odds. Each setback was met with renewed determination, every success celebrated as a step toward a far-reaching vision. Elon's journey with SpaceX became a microcosm of his broader approach, balancing hope and risk, genius and vulnerability. The stakes were cosmic, and the emotional roller coaster was intense. The Falcon 9's success and the first commercial resupply missions to the ISS marked turning points, but the road ahead was still long. Starship's development promised to open a new chapter in space exploration, yet every test flight carried the risk of public failure and financial ruin. Elon's story here is one of tension and hope intertwined. He faced pressure from all sides, investors demanding results, regulators setting strict guidelines, competitors watching closely, and the ever-present shadow of failure looming. Yet through it all, his vision remained clear: to ensure humanity's survival by becoming a multiplanetary species. The weight of this mission pushed Elon to new limits, testing his endurance, leadership, and faith in his team and himself. As SpaceX moved forward, the challenges would only intensify. Geopolitical considerations, technical hurdles, and the sheer scale of the endeavor loomed large. But Elon's past had prepared him. The scars of earlier failures, the lessons learned from Tesla's rise and fall, and the early struggles with SpaceX had forged a resilience that would be critical in the battles ahead. This chapter in Elon Musk's life is marked by conflict, not just external but internal. The tension between dream and reality, between ambition and risk, played out on a cosmic stage. Yet within that tension burned a fierce hope, the belief that through perseverance, innovation, and courage, humanity could reach new heights. The SpaceX challenge was more than a business venture, it was a testament to the power of vision and the will to overcome the impossible. After years of relentless pursuit, Tesla faced perhaps its greatest challenge yet: the launch of the Model 3, the car that would take electric vehicles from luxury novelties to mass-market realities. For Elon Musk, the Model 3 was more than a product, it was the embodiment of a dream to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. But bringing the Model 3 to life proved to be a journey filled with unforeseen obstacles, intense pressure, and moments of profound doubt. The story begins in 2016, when Tesla announced the Model 3 with a promise of affordability, performance, and range that could finally compete with traditional gas-powered cars. The initial public response was overwhelming. Hundreds of thousands of customers put down deposits, eager to be part of this revolution. But excitement soon gave way to a grueling reality. Production bottlenecks emerged early, revealing the complexities of manufacturing a high-tech car at scale. Tesla's factory in Fremont became a battleground where engineers, assembly line workers, and executives faced relentless pressure to meet impossible deadlines. Elon was hands-on like never before, sleeping on the factory floor, working 120-hour weeks, and personally troubleshooting problems that ranged from supply chain breakdowns to robotic assembly line malfunctions. The production hell, as Elon later called it, tested every ounce of the company's resilience. Investors and media grew impatient, speculating about Tesla's survival. Elon's famously bold promises were questioned, and the weight of expectations threatened to crush morale inside the company. Yet amid this chaos, moments of hope emerged. Tesla's culture of innovation and problem-solving kicked into high gear. Teams collaborated across departments, redesigning processes, retraining staff, and working around the clock to iron out glitches. Elon's leadership, though intense and often controversial, provided a rallying point, a reminder of the mission's significance. The personal toll on Elon was immense. The stress led to public meltdowns, strained relationships, and exhaustion. But even as his health and personal life suffered, he remained driven by the vision of a better future. The Model 3 represented not just a car but a symbol of what determination and innovation could achieve. Finally, after months of struggle, Tesla hit a major milestone, reaching the target production rate that investors and critics had doubted. The Model 3 began rolling off the line in volume, ready to fulfill its promise. The impact was immediate. The car's combination of range, performance, and price reshaped consumer perceptions and put pressure on the entire auto industry to accelerate electrification. But the story didn't end there. Tesla's challenges shifted to scaling delivery, managing quality control, and expanding infrastructure like charging networks to support the growing fleet. Each success uncovered new hurdles, requiring constant adaptation. The Model 3's breakthrough opened doors for Tesla to expand into new markets and technologies. Elon's vision extended beyond cars to energy storage and solar power integration, pushing Tesla into a leader in clean energy solutions. Yet the journey highlighted a fundamental truth: innovation on this scale is never smooth or predictable. It demands resilience, agility, and a willingness to confront failure and learn quickly. For Elon, the Model 3 was a crucible, testing not just Tesla's technology but his leadership and resolve. The victory was as much personal as professional, marking a turning point in his career and the company's history. It was proof that a visionary idea could overcome immense obstacles with perseverance and grit. As the Model 3 became a fixture on roads worldwide, Elon's focus shifted to the future: autonomous driving, battery advancements, and new models like the Model Y. Each step brought fresh excitement and risk, continuing the pattern of high stakes and high rewards. The breakthrough of the Model 3 also deepened Elon's understanding of the delicate balance between ambition and execution. He recognized that vision alone was not enough; it required building strong teams, managing expectations, and navigating the complexities of global markets. The experience reshaped his leadership style, making him more strategic while retaining the passion that drove Tesla forward. Behind the scenes, Elon grappled with the personal costs of this journey: strained relationships, public scrutiny, and the constant pressure to perform. But the Model 3's success reaffirmed his belief that the sacrifices were worth it. The car was not just a product but a catalyst for change, inspiring millions to rethink what was possible. This climactic journey was a turning point, a moment when hope, tension, and determination converged to create something extraordinary. It encapsulated the highs and lows of innovation and the human spirit's capacity to endure. For Elon Musk, the Model 3 breakthrough was proof that dreams grounded in resilience could change the world. While Tesla was redefining the automotive landscape and SpaceX was reaching for the stars, Elon Musk's vision for a sustainable future extended even further, into the realm of energy itself. This chapter in his journey centers on SolarCity, the solar energy company founded by his cousins in 2006 and later acquired by Tesla in 2016. The acquisition was meant to integrate solar power generation with Tesla's battery technology, creating an end-to-end clean energy ecosystem. But the path to realizing this vision was fraught with emotional and financial turmoil, leading to one of the most contentious and defining moments in Elon's career. SolarCity, despite its promising mission, was struggling financially by the time Tesla stepped in. The company faced mounting debts, operational challenges, and skepticism from investors questioning the wisdom of the acquisition. Critics accused Elon of a conflict of interest, given his family ties to SolarCity's leadership. Shareholders debated fiercely, and the move became a lightning rod for controversy, with some labeling it a risky bet that could jeopardize Tesla's future. Elon stood at the center of the storm, defending the acquisition as a strategic step toward building a sustainable energy company that could deliver solar power, energy storage, and electric vehicles under one roof. For him, the integration was more than business. It was a moral imperative to combat climate change and reduce humanity's dependence on fossil fuels. The months following the acquisition were turbulent. Tesla absorbed SolarCity's debt and operational inefficiencies while working to merge the two companies' technologies and cultures. The task was daunting, as the businesses had very different structures and priorities. Tesla's manufacturing mindset clashed at times with SolarCity's project-based approach, leading to internal friction and the need for major restructuring. Financial pressures mounted as Tesla's stock fluctuated and the company reported losses tied in part to the solar business. Elon's leadership was again tested, as he faced criticism from investors, board members, and the media. The emotional toll was significant, with reports of sleepless nights and personal stress. Yet Elon remained steadfast, driven by the conviction that the combined company would ultimately fulfill the promise of a sustainable energy future. One of the most emotionally charged moments came when Tesla announced layoffs and cost-cutting measures within the solar division. The decision was painful but necessary to stabilize operations. Employees felt uncertainty and anxiety, while Elon worked to maintain morale and focus on long-term goals. The struggle highlighted the human side of innovation, the difficult choices and sacrifices behind the headlines. Despite the setbacks, progress continued. Tesla's development of the Powerwall and PowerPack energy storage systems advanced, allowing homeowners and businesses to store solar energy efficiently. The integration of solar panels with battery storage and electric vehicles created a vision of a closed-loop energy ecosystem that could transform how power was generated, stored, and used. This vision was not just about technology, it was about empowering individuals and communities to take control of their energy futures, reduce costs, and protect the planet. Elon's passion for this mission inspired his teams to innovate relentlessly, even as challenges persisted. The emotional climax of this chapter came with the launch of Tesla's solar roof product, solar panels integrated seamlessly into roof tiles designed to replace traditional roofing materials. The product promised to make solar energy more accessible and aesthetically pleasing, overcoming a major barrier to adoption. However, technical difficulties and production delays plagued the solar roof rollout. Early installations revealed flaws, cost overruns, and manufacturing challenges. Critics were quick to point out the failures, and Tesla's stock price took a hit. Elon faced renewed scrutiny and pressure to deliver results. The emotional weight of this moment was palpable. The solar roof represented the culmination of years of work, ambition, and personal investment. For Elon, failure was not just a business setback but a blow to the vision of a sustainable future. Yet even amid disappointment, hope persisted. The Tesla team continued refining the product, improving manufacturing processes, and learning from mistakes. Incremental progress kept the dream alive, fueling determination to succeed. This cycle of challenge and hope echoed the pattern seen throughout Elon's journey, where each setback became a catalyst for renewed effort and innovation. Behind the scenes, Elon's personal commitment to sustainability deepened. He made public statements about the urgency of addressing climate change and invested in projects aimed at advancing renewable energy technologies. His philanthropic efforts aligned with his business goals, demonstrating a holistic approach to driving change. The SolarCity saga revealed the complexity of building a sustainable energy future, not just in terms of technology but also finance, politics, and human factors. Elon navigated these waters with a blend of visionary optimism and pragmatic problem-solving, learning hard lessons about leadership and resilience. The emotional climax of this chapter is a testament to the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. Elon's journey with SolarCity and Tesla's energy division encapsulates the tension between ambition and reality, hope and hardship. It underscores a fundamental truth. Meaningful change requires not only innovation but also courage to confront failures and keep moving forward. As this chapter closes, the story of Solar City's integration into Tesla stands as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration, a reminder that the road to a better future is rarely smooth but always worth traveling. Elon Musk's unwavering belief in sustainability continues to shape his vision and drive, propelling him to tackle new frontiers and inspire a global movement toward clean energy. As the world watched with bated breath, Elon Musk's SpaceX prepared for one of its most ambitious and dramatic undertakings yet, the first flight of Starship, the fully reusable spacecraft designed to carry humans to Mars and beyond. This chapter marks a pivotal moment in Elon's journey, a mix of tension, hope, and the relentless pursuit of a dream that had once seemed impossibly far away. The Starship project represented everything Elon had ever strived for in space exploration, innovation at an unprecedented scale, a commitment to reusability that could revolutionize costs, and the audacious goal of making life multiplanetary. But as with all of Elon's ventures, the path was anything but smooth. In the months leading up to the first full-scale Starship test flight, the SpaceX team was engulfed in a whirlwind of preparation, testing, and refinement. Engineers labored tirelessly to solve complex engineering problems, from propulsion and heat shields to avionics and structural integrity. Every system had to work perfectly, because failure would mean not just losing a multimillion-dollar vehicle but potentially setting back the entire vision of Mars colonization. The pressure was immense. Elon, always the driving force, was deeply involved in every detail. He pushed his team hard, demanding rapid iteration and bold solutions, but also inspiring them with his unshakable belief in the mission. The factory in Boca Chica, Texas, buzzed with energy and tension, as prototype after prototype was assembled, tested, and, sometimes, spectacularly destroyed. The early tests were brutal. Several Starship prototypes exploded during static fires or landing attempts, often generating headlines that ranged from skeptical to alarmist. Critics questioned whether SpaceX was biting off more than it could chew, while supporters marveled at the company's ability to learn quickly from failures. Elon's response was characteristically unflinching: test, fail, learn, repeat. This mantra reflected a philosophy that failure was not a setback but a necessary step toward eventual success. The day of the first high-altitude Starship flight was electric with anticipation. The rocket stood tall against the Texas sky, gleaming with promise. Cameras captured every angle as Elon and his team watched from the control room, knowing that years of work would culminate in this moment. The launch sequence initiated smoothly, the engines roared to life, and Starship lifted off the pad with a powerful thrust that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. The ascent was textbook perfect. Starship climbed to its target altitude, performing maneuvers designed to test its control surfaces and stability. Then came the descent. The most challenging part of the flight, the landing attempt, was fraught with tension. Starship approached the landing pad belly first, flipping at the last moment to attempt a vertical touchdown. For a brief instant, the world held its breath. Then, in a spectacular explosion of fire and debris, the prototype crashed. Yet despite the fiery end, the mission was far from a failure. Key flight objectives had been met. The rocket had achieved controlled ascent, maneuvered as planned, and demonstrated technologies critical to reusability. Elon framed the outcome as a valuable data-gathering success, a vital step forward on the path to operational Starship flights. This moment encapsulated the oscillation between climax and hope that defined much of Elon's journey. The failure stung, but the promise it revealed ignited new enthusiasm within SpaceX and beyond. The media dubbed it a successful failure, and Elon's fans rallied behind the vision, seeing in Starship's fiery descent the very essence of innovation and courage. The flight's aftermath brought a surge of renewed momentum. SpaceX engineers pored over telemetry and footage, identifying improvements for the next prototype. Elon shared candid reflections publicly, emphasizing the need to keep pushing boundaries and embracing risk. The company accelerated work on enhancements to the rocket's engines, landing legs, and software controls. Meanwhile, investors and partners took note of the progress, reaffirming their support. The Starship program was no longer a fringe dream but a serious contender in the global aerospace race. Elon's personal commitment was evident in every step. Despite the setbacks, he remained laser-focused, often personally overseeing tests and designs, inspiring his team to reach higher. The Starship's promise extended far beyond the technical. It symbolized humanity's potential to transcend Earth's limitations, an idea that resonated deeply with Elon's belief in expanding life's horizons. The first flight's dramatic spectacle became a cultural moment, a story of aspiration, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of the impossible. It captured imaginations worldwide, rekindling interest in space exploration and challenging assumptions about what private enterprise could achieve. Yet the journey was just beginning. The data collected from the initial test flight informed a series of iterative improvements, leading to subsequent prototypes that achieved smoother landings, longer test durations, and greater reliability. Each milestone marked progress toward the ultimate goal, a fully operational vehicle capable of carrying crew and cargo to Mars. This phase of the Starship program also deepened Elon's understanding of the interplay between technology, risk, and public perception. He learned to communicate transparently, balancing bold claims with measured acknowledgments of setbacks. The story of Starship's first flight and its aftermath stands as a testament to the power of hope amid adversity, a defining chapter in Elon Musk's quest to change the game in space exploration. Following the groundbreaking launch of the Model 3 and the high-profile Starship flight, Elon Musk set his sights on transforming another iconic American vehicle, the pickup truck. The Cybertruck, unveiled in 2019, was intended to shake up a segment traditionally dominated by rugged, gasoline-powered behemoths. With its futuristic design, bulletproof steel body, and promises of extreme durability and performance, the Cybertruck was quintessential Elon, bold, disruptive, and unapologetically ambitious. Yet, despite the excitement from many fans, the launch sparked one of the most significant conflicts in Elon's career, revealing the challenges of innovation clashing with public expectations and entrenched traditions. The unveiling event itself became instantly memorable. Not for the slick presentation or the vehicle's specs, but for the infamous, shatterproof window demonstration. Elon and Tesla's chief designer took pride in showcasing the truck's armored glass by throwing metal balls at the windows. To everyone's shock, the supposedly unbreakable glass cracked twice, live on stage, leading to a flood of memes, jokes, and media skepticism. The incident was a public relations disaster that tested Elon's resilience. Social media exploded with criticism, with some mocking the vehicle as a gimmick, while traditional automakers seized the opportunity to highlight the Cybertruck's unconventional looks and questioned its market viability. Yet, true to his character, Elon responded with a mixture of humor, defiance, and transparency. He admitted the failure but emphasized the truck's many strengths, asserting that the issues were fixable and part of the development process. The Cybertruck, he insisted, was designed for function over form, aimed at a new generation of truck owners who valued innovation and sustainability over tradition. The backlash, however, went beyond aesthetics and the broken windows. The Cybertruck's polarizing design sparked intense debate within the pickup truck community, a loyal and proud demographic deeply rooted in American culture. Many enthusiasts expressed disdain for what they perceived as a radical departure from classic truck values, ruggedness, simplicity, and familiarity. Dealers and critics questioned whether Tesla understood the market it was entering. Reservations for the Cybertruck, while initially strong, began to show signs of wavering as pre-orders stalled and concerns about production timelines surfaced. Adding to the tension were reports of production delays, supply chain issues, and the complex engineering challenges posed by the truck's stainless steel exoskeleton. Manufacturing a vehicle with such unconventional materials and shapes required Tesla to rethink traditional assembly processes, leading to costly retooling and bottlenecks. Internally, these difficulties created friction between engineering teams, suppliers, and leadership. Elon's famously intense management style came under strain as frustration mounted. Employees grappled with the pressure to deliver a product that was both revolutionary and reliable, while Elon pushed for faster timelines and higher standards. This clash of expectations and realities exposed the harsh underbelly of innovation at scale. The public conflict mirrored internal battles, painting a picture of a company caught between visionary ambition and the practical demands of mass production. The Cybertruck controversy also sparked wider discussions about Tesla's role in the automotive industry. Critics accused Elon of overpromising and underdelivering, while supporters argued that pushing boundaries inevitably invites resistance. The debate highlighted a deeper tension in Elon's work, the balance between being a trailblazer and managing expectations in a highly scrutinized market. Despite the setbacks, the Cybertruck's development moved forward, fueled by a loyal base of supporters who believed in the truck's potential to redefine what an American pickup could be. Elon doubled down on marketing efforts, unveiling features like impressive towing capacity, all-electric range, and advanced autopilot capabilities, appealing to tech-savvy and environmentally conscious consumers. The truck became a symbol of the cultural and generational shifts reshaping America, where innovation and sustainability increasingly influence even the most traditional sectors. This chapter's rising conflict ultimately served as a crucible for Elon and Tesla, forcing hard choices about design compromises, production priorities, and communication strategies. It tested Elon's ability to manage public perception and internal dynamics while staying true to his disruptive vision. Through this turmoil, the Cybertruck story underscored the risks inherent in challenging the status quo and the resilience needed to weather criticism and setbacks. Elon's journey with the Cybertruck was emblematic of his broader approach: bold bets, high stakes, and the courage to face failure head-on. It revealed the complicated relationship between innovation, culture, and market realities, illustrating that changing the game often means confronting entrenched resistance and learning to navigate conflict with grace and determination. As Tesla worked to refine the Cybertruck and prepare for production, the company's trajectory remained uncertain but hopeful, reflecting the unpredictable nature of breakthrough innovation. For Elon, the controversy was not a deterrent but a catalyst, a reminder that to revolutionize industries requires more than technology. It demands endurance, adaptability, and the ability to hold fast to a vision amid storms of doubt. The Cybertruck conflict set the stage for future challenges and triumphs, illustrating the complex dance between disruption and acceptance that defines Elon Musk's ever-evolving legacy. One of the most ambitious and transformative goals in Elon Musk's career has been the pursuit of fully autonomous driving. Vehicles that can navigate roads without human intervention, promising to reshape transportation, reduce accidents, and free up millions of hours otherwise spent behind the wheel. This chapter dives deep into Tesla's journey toward full self-driving, FSD, a climactic voyage filled with breakthroughs, controversies, and high stakes that pushed the company and Elon's vision to their limits. Tesla's autonomous driving story began with the autopilot system introduced in 2015, a combination of cameras, sensors, and software designed to assist drivers with steering, braking, and acceleration on highways. From the start, Elon framed autopilot as a stepping stone toward fully self-driving cars. However, the road from driver assistance to complete autonomy proved far more complex than anticipated. The early years of autopilot were marked by incremental improvements and growing adoption, but also by skepticism and safety concerns. Regulatory bodies and the public closely scrutinized accidents involving autopilot, leading to debates about whether Tesla was overstating the system's capabilities. Elon, ever the visionary, maintained that Tesla's approach was the most promising path to achieving full autonomy, emphasizing the power of artificial intelligence and massive data collection from Tesla's growing fleet of vehicles. As Tesla's fleet logged billions of miles, collecting real-world data, its neural networks improved, enabling the system to recognize objects, interpret environments, and make decisions with increasing sophistication. Yet the journey was anything but smooth. Technical hurdles abounded, including the challenge of programming a car to handle the infinite variability of human behavior, weather conditions, and complex road scenarios. Tesla's reliance on vision-based systems over LiDAR, controversial in the autonomous vehicle industry, sparked debate. Engineers worked tirelessly to refine the software, incorporating machine learning techniques to improve performance while balancing safety and legal considerations. Meanwhile, Elon set aggressive timelines, often predicting full self-driving capability within a few years, raising expectations among customers, investors, and the media. These promises sometimes outpaced reality, leading to frustration and criticism when milestones were delayed. The emotional tension around FSD intensified as Tesla began rolling out beta versions of the software to select customers. Early users reported impressive capabilities alongside bugs and limitations, reinforcing that the technology was still evolving. The beta program was groundbreaking, giving real drivers access to advanced autonomy, but it also brought new challenges in managing user expectations and ensuring safety. Public incidents involving Tesla's self-driving features captured headlines and legal scrutiny. Some accidents, though often complex and multifaceted, fueled arguments that Tesla's technology was not ready for widespread deployment. Elon responded by emphasizing the long-term benefits, including the potential to save lives by reducing human error. Internally, Tesla's software teams worked in a high-pressure environment, racing to improve algorithms and expand the capabilities of FSD. Elon's hands-on involvement included frequent updates, candid assessments of progress, and pushing for rapid iteration. The company's approach combined data-driven development with bold engineering decisions, reflecting Elon's philosophy of fail fast, learn faster. The climactic journey toward full autonomy also highlighted the broader societal and regulatory challenges inherent in the technology's adoption. Questions about liability, ethics, and the impact on jobs surfaced alongside technical debates. Elon advocated for proactive engagement with regulators, though Tesla's sometimes unconventional communication style sparked friction. Despite the hurdles, progress was undeniable. Tesla's FSD software gradually expanded its feature set, handling city streets, navigating complex intersections, and responding to traffic signals. The vehicles became more adept at interpreting nuanced scenarios, bringing the dream of hands-free driving closer to reality. The emotional climax of this chapter lies in the juxtaposition of immense promise and ongoing uncertainty. Elon's vision of a future where cars drive themselves safely and efficiently energizes supporters, while critics caution about premature deployment and risks. The stakes are high, not just for Tesla's success but for public safety and trust in emerging technologies. The journey embodies Elon's characteristic blend of optimism, risk-taking, and perseverance. The race to full autonomy has transformed Tesla from a car manufacturer into a software-driven tech company, pushing boundaries in AI and machine learning. It has also challenged Elon's leadership to balance visionary ambition with responsible innovation. As this chapter closes, Tesla's autonomous driving quest remains a work in progress, a climactic saga of innovation where every milestone achieved fuels new dreams and fresh challenges. Elon Musk's pursuit of full self-driving captures the essence of his career, relentless striving to change the world, undeterred by setbacks, driven by a belief that technology can and must improve human life in radical ways. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? Behind the high-profile successes and headline-making ventures, Elon Musk's life has been marked by deeply personal struggles and emotional challenges that often remain out of the spotlight. This chapter peels back the layers to reveal the emotional climax of Elon's journey, a period when the weight of his ambitions, public scrutiny, and complex family relationships came crashing together, testing his resilience in profound ways. Elon's upbringing and family dynamics have long influenced his character and drive. Growing up in South Africa, he experienced both affection and conflict within his household, shaping his relentless work ethic and sometimes difficult interpersonal style. As his fame grew, so did the scrutiny of his personal life, with media outlets eager to explore his marriages, children, and family ties. The intense pressure of balancing public persona and private life became increasingly apparent. During this turbulent period, Elon faced several significant personal trials. The strain of running multiple cutting-edge companies simultaneously led to long hours, stress, and health concerns. Public incidents, such as contentious interviews and controversial tweets, fueled media speculation about his mental and emotional state. Friends and insiders spoke of a man grappling with exhaustion, isolation, and the burden of expectations, from himself, his companies, and the world. At the heart of this emotional climax were Elon's relationships with his children and former partners. He fathered multiple children, navigating the joys and challenges of parenthood amid a demanding career. Reports of custody arrangements and the difficulties of maintaining close family connections amid a global lifestyle surfaced periodically, highlighting the sacrifices involved in his chosen path. One of the most publicly scrutinized aspects was Elon's relationship with Grimes, the Canadian musician with whom he shares 2 children. Their unconventional, high-profile relationship fascinated fans and critics alike, symbolizing the intersection of technology, celebrity, and personal life in the digital age. Despite occasional public breakups and reconciliations, the couple worked to co-parent and maintain a private family life amidst the glare of social media. The emotional toll was compounded by the intense public fascination with Elon's mental health. Tweets hinting at burnout or emotional struggle led to rampant speculation, with some worrying about the sustainability of his pace. Elon openly discussed his experiences with anxiety and stress, breaking a cultural taboo and inviting dialogue about the pressures faced by leaders in high-stakes environments. The chapter also explores moments of profound loss and reflection. The death of close family members and friends brought sorrow and introspection, deepening Elon's understanding of the human condition beyond business. These experiences influenced his philanthropic endeavors and reinforced his commitment to creating a better future, not just technologically but socially and emotionally. Despite the challenges, Elon demonstrated remarkable resilience. He sought balance through periods of withdrawal from public life, focusing on family and health. He also leaned on trusted friends and advisors, illustrating that even the most driven individuals need support networks. This emotional climax serves as a reminder that behind groundbreaking inventions and bold ventures lies a human story filled with vulnerability, growth, and the quest for meaning. Elon's ability to endure personal hardship while continuing to innovate speaks to the complexity of his character, a blend of genius, determination, and deeply felt humanity. As this chapter concludes, readers gain insight into the sacrifices and struggles that accompany visionary success. The lessons from Elon's family trials emphasize the importance of connection, self-care, and perspective amid the relentless pursuit of greatness. This emotional turning point not only humanizes a larger-than-life figure but also sets the stage for his continued evolution as a leader, innovator, and father. After years of relentless innovation, public scrutiny, and personal challenges, Elon Musk reached a point of profound reflection on his journey, his vision, and the legacy he hoped to leave behind. This chapter explores the resolution phase of his story, a moment where ambition meets wisdom, and the lessons of past trials shape the future direction of his life and work. Elon's story is not simply about technological breakthroughs or business success, it's about an evolving understanding of what it means to create lasting change. As he matured, Elon began to focus more deliberately on the impact of his inventions on society, the environment, and future generations. The early years of his career were marked by an intense focus on disruption, challenging industries and pushing boundaries. But with time came the recognition that innovation must be sustainable, inclusive, and ethical to truly transform the world. This realization influenced Tesla's shift toward more affordable electric vehicles and expanded production to meet global demand. It also shaped SpaceX's long-term vision for colonizing Mars, not just as a technological feat, but as a means to ensure humanity's survival and inspire hope for the future. Family and personal growth played a crucial role in this reflective phase. Elon's relationships, though complex, grounded him and provided perspective beyond corporate boardrooms and rocket launch pads. His role as a father and partner deepened his understanding of responsibility and sacrifice. He acknowledged that his work was not just about invention but about creating a legacy that would endure beyond his lifetime. Philanthropy and public engagement became more prominent. Elon invested in education, renewable energy, and AI safety initiatives, signaling a commitment to address some of humanity's greatest challenges. He also became more vocal about the ethical implications of technology, advocating for careful stewardship even as he pushed the frontiers of possibility. The emotional tone of this chapter reflects a blend of humility, hope, and renewed purpose. Elon embraced the idea that failure and hardship were integral to growth, viewing setbacks not as defeats but as lessons to be absorbed and applied. This mindset fostered a culture of continuous learning within his companies and encouraged others to pursue ambitious goals with resilience. In interviews and public appearances, Elon shared insights into the philosophical underpinnings of his work, the belief that humanity's future depends on courage, curiosity, and a willingness to dream big. He urged others to embrace uncertainty and take bold steps toward building a better world. The story of resolution also highlights the ongoing challenges Elon faced. The industries he sought to change remained complex and resistant, and technological breakthroughs required patience and persistence. Yet, this phase underscored the importance of aligning vision with pragmatism, and ambition with empathy. Ultimately, Elon's journey came full circle, from the curious boy fascinated by rockets and computers to a man shaping the future of transportation, energy, and space exploration. The narrative closes with a powerful message: innovation is not just about creating new technologies but about inspiring people to believe in possibilities beyond the horizon. Elon Musk's story, with all its ups and downs, offers a testament to the transformative power of vision combined with perseverance. It challenges readers to consider their own potential for impact and reminds us that every great journey begins with a single step fueled by passion and purpose. As the final lines echo in the minds of readers, the life lesson resonates clearly: life is full of surprises, but love, curiosity, and determination will always lead the way. This resolution marks not an end but a new beginning, as Elon Musk continues to push the boundaries of what is possible, inspiring generations to come. While Elon Musk was reshaping the automotive and aerospace industries, he was quietly laying the groundwork for what many consider his most futuristic and controversial venture, Neuralink. The quest to merge human cognition with artificial intelligence represents a new frontier, one that challenges the very definition of what it means to be human. This chapter explores the inception, development, and early challenges of Neuralink, illustrating Elon's unyielding drive to push technological boundaries beyond Earth and into the realm of the mind. The idea for Neuralink emerged from Elon's growing concern about the future of artificial intelligence. He often spoke about AI's potential to surpass human intelligence and the existential risks that could follow if humans failed to keep pace. Elon envisioned a symbiotic relationship between brain and machine, a neural lace that could enhance human capabilities, treat neurological disorders, and ultimately safeguard humanity's future in an AI-dominated world. Early on, Neuralink was met with skepticism from scientists, ethicists, and the public. The concept of implanting chips in the brain raised ethical questions and fears about privacy, autonomy, and unintended consequences. Yet, Elon's approach was grounded in rigorous scientific inquiry and a commitment to transparency, with public presentations showcasing the technology's progress and potential applications. Developing the Neuralink device required breakthroughs in materials science, neuroscience, and miniaturization. Elon assembled a team of top researchers, engineers, and medical experts dedicated to solving unprecedented challenges, creating ultra-thin, flexible electrodes capable of safely interfacing with brain tissue, designing robotic surgical systems for precise implantation, and developing real-time data processing algorithms to interpret neural signals. The technical hurdles were immense. The brain is an incredibly complex and delicate organ, and interfacing with it posed risks of inflammation, infection, and long-term damage. Testing began with animals, including pigs and monkeys, demonstrating the device's ability to record and stimulate neural activity. These experiments showcased promising results, such as enabling a monkey to control a computer cursor with its thoughts. Elon's public demonstrations aimed to demystify the technology and inspire confidence, though critics cautioned that translating animal studies to human applications would be far more complicated. The emotional tension around Neuralink was palpable. On one hand, it represented hope for millions suffering from neurological conditions like paralysis, Alzheimer's, and epilepsy. On the other, it raised profound philosophical questions about identity, free will, and the boundaries between human and machine. Elon framed Neuralink as a tool for empowerment. An extension of the human mind rather than a replacement. His vision was ambitious, to use brain-machine interfaces not only for medical therapies but ultimately to enable telepathy-like communication, memory enhancement, and even a digital backup of human consciousness. This futuristic vision captured the imagination of technologists and futurists worldwide, yet also drew ethical watchdogs and regulators wary of unforeseen consequences. The journey of Neuralink also exposed Elon's characteristic blend of optimism and urgency. He pushed the team to accelerate development, often setting aggressive timelines while acknowledging the uncertainties inherent in pioneering science. Behind the scenes, the project demanded careful navigation of regulatory pathways, clinical trials, and the need for public trust. The chapter vividly describes the high-stakes environment of Neuralink's labs, a place buzzing with excitement, tension, and the thrill of venturing into uncharted territory. For Elon, Neuralink represented not just another company but a mission to redefine human potential and safeguard the species' future. The story highlights moments of breakthrough and setback, the exhilaration of a successful demonstration, the frustration of technical glitches, and the ethical debates sparked by the technology's implications. As Neuralink advanced toward its first human trials, the narrative captures a climactic moment, the merging of visionary science and the profound mystery of the human mind. This chapter invites readers to reflect on the possibilities and perils of such intimate technology, and on Elon's enduring commitment to exploring the unknown. Neuralink's birth marked a new horizon in Elon Musk's journey, one that transcends traditional engineering and ventures boldly into the realm of biology and consciousness, challenging us all to imagine the future of humanity itself. As Tesla surged forward with its vision of an all-electric future, the company found itself in the crosshairs of the established automotive industry, igniting a fierce battle that would define much of Elon Musk's middle chapter. This chapter delves into the rising conflict between Tesla and legacy automakers, a struggle fueled by innovation, disruption, and the high stakes of a rapidly changing market. Traditional car manufacturers, long reliant on internal combustion engines, initially dismissed electric vehicles, EVs, as niche products, unprofitable and impractical. Many executives doubted Tesla's ability to scale production and compete on price, viewing the startup as a fringe player rather than a serious threat. Yet, Tesla's breakthrough battery technology, sleek designs, and charismatic leadership quickly altered the narrative. The company's success forced giants like General Motors, Ford, and Volkswagen to accelerate their own electric programs. The clash was not just technological but deeply strategic. Tesla's direct-to-consumer sales model bypassed traditional dealerships, challenging long-established distribution networks and regulations. Legacy automakers fought back with lobbying efforts, legal battles, and aggressive marketing campaigns aimed at preserving the status quo. Elon, however, thrived in this combative environment. His unconventional tactics, bold product unveilings, transparent communication with fans via social media, and relentless focus on innovation allowed Tesla to build a fiercely loyal customer base and investor confidence. The company's ability to rapidly iterate on vehicle software and hardware provided a competitive edge, while traditional manufacturers struggled with cumbersome hierarchies and slower innovation cycles. This chapter explores key moments of tension, lawsuits over Tesla's sales practices, public feuds between Elon and industry leaders, and the media's portrayal of the battle as a David versus Goliath story. Internally, Tesla faced pressure to meet growing demand, improve manufacturing efficiency, and maintain quality amid exponential growth. The rising conflict brought moments of crisis, production bottlenecks, the so-called production hell of the Model 3, and scrutiny over safety recalls. Yet these challenges only intensified the company's determination. Elon's leadership style, demanding, sometimes abrasive, but deeply committed, galvanized his teams to innovate under pressure. The chapter also highlights how Tesla's competition sparked a broader transformation of the auto industry. Traditional automakers increased investments in EV technology, battery development, and autonomous driving features, accelerating the shift away from fossil fuels. This competitive landscape pushed innovation forward, benefiting consumers and the environment alike. Amid the conflict, Elon remained focused on his long-term vision, a sustainable energy future powered by electric transportation, solar energy, and battery storage. Tesla's mission extended beyond cars to a holistic ecosystem aimed at reducing humanity's carbon footprint. The rising conflict was thus not simply about market share but about shaping the planet's future. As the chapter closes, the battle lines are drawn but the outcome remains uncertain. Tesla's rise disrupted an industry resistant to change, forcing legacy players to adapt or risk obsolescence. Elon Musk's role as disruptor and visionary placed him at the center of one of the most dramatic industrial shifts of the 21st century. This period of conflict encapsulates the tension between innovation and tradition, risk and stability, and the personal cost of challenging entrenched power. Readers are left with a sense of anticipation, witnessing a pivotal moment when ambition collides with resistance, setting the stage for the next phase of transformation. Elon Musk's vision of humanity as a multiplanetary species represents perhaps the most audacious and inspiring aspect of his legacy. This chapter chronicles the climactic journey of SpaceX's Mars mission. From a visionary dream to tangible plans and groundbreaking developments that brought the red planet within reach. The idea of colonizing Mars was not new to science fiction, but Elon sought to transform it into reality. His motivation stemmed from a profound concern about Earth's future, climate change, resource depletion, and existential risks posed by technology and geopolitics. For Elon, establishing a self-sustaining colony on Mars was not just an exploration endeavor but a necessary step to preserve humanity's long-term survival. SpaceX began with a simple goal: reduce the cost of space travel by developing reusable rockets. Early successes with the Falcon 1 and Falcon 9 rockets demonstrated the feasibility of reusability, drastically lowering launch costs and attracting both commercial contracts and NASA partnerships. However, Mars colonization required a quantum leap, a new class of spacecraft capable of transporting large numbers of people and cargo over interplanetary distances. This led to the development of Starship, a fully reusable, heavy-lift vehicle designed for deep space missions. The engineering challenges were enormous: building a spacecraft capable of withstanding the harsh Martian environment, developing life support systems for months-long journeys, and ensuring the sustainability of colonies on a distant world. Elon's teams at SpaceX worked relentlessly, facing setbacks including explosive test failures and technical hurdles. Each failure became a stepping stone, fueling improvements and refining designs. Publicly, Elon used social media and presentations to share progress, rally support, and inspire a global audience. The Starship prototype launches in Boca Chica, Texas, became major events, drawing enthusiasts and skeptics alike. These flights showcased breathtaking feats of engineering and moments of dramatic failure, underscoring the high-risk, high-reward nature of the mission. Parallel to the rocket development, research into Mars colonization logistics progressed. Concepts for habitats, food production, energy generation, and terraforming were explored in collaboration with scientists and futurists. Elon emphasized the importance of creating a self-sustaining ecosystem on Mars, reducing reliance on Earth supplies. This involved leveraging local resources, such as extracting water ice and producing fuel from the Martian atmosphere. The journey to Mars was not just technical but philosophical, a challenge to human imagination, courage, and cooperation. Elon framed the mission as a unifying endeavor for humanity, transcending national boundaries and inspiring generations. The chapter captures moments of emotional intensity, the thrill of successful test flights, the heartbreak of failures, and the awe inspired by the possibility of humans setting foot on another planet. It also delves into the ethical questions posed by colonization, planetary protection, indigenous life, and humanity's responsibilities beyond Earth. Throughout the journey, Elon's leadership style was on full display. His relentless optimism, willingness to take risks, and ability to motivate teams under pressure drove progress. Yet he remained grounded in scientific rigor and pragmatic problem-solving, balancing visionary goals with engineering realities. The climactic journey to Mars embodies the essence of Elon Musk's character, a blend of dreamer and doer, visionary and engineer. It exemplifies his belief that the future belongs to those who dare to pursue seemingly impossible goals. As SpaceX prepares for its first crewed Mars mission, the world watches with anticipation, poised at the cusp of a new era in space exploration. Elon Musk's quest to make humanity multiplanetary challenges us to rethink our place in the cosmos and ignites a sense of wonder about what lies beyond. The chapter closes with a powerful message: the journey to Mars is more than a mission. It's a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and the enduring spirit of exploration. Elon Musk's journey is often told through headlines about groundbreaking inventions and monumental achievements, but behind this public narrative lies a profound emotional climax, one marked by intense personal sacrifice, health struggles, and the heavy toll of unrelenting pressure. This chapter dives deep into the human side of Elon's story, exploring how ambition, stress, and the relentless pace of innovation affected his mental and physical well-being, and the relationships closest to him. The world saw Elon as a tireless visionary, working 80 to 100 hours a week, sleeping on factory floors, and juggling multiple high-stakes ventures. Yet this superhuman image belied the exhaustion and strain building beneath the surface. Elon's own admissions about suffering from bouts of insomnia, anxiety, and emotional burnout revealed the dark side of high-profile success. The chapter begins by recounting the intense periods during Tesla's production hell, where Elon famously took personal responsibility for meeting deadlines that seemed impossible. The stress of leading thousands of employees, managing supply chains, and appeasing investors weighed heavily on him. Public appearances showed glimpses of fatigue, his once energetic demeanor occasionally replaced by visible weariness and tense moments in interviews. Beyond physical health, Elon grappled with the mental and emotional challenges of balancing personal life with public demands. His relationships, including marriages and fatherhood, faced strains under the spotlight and his grueling schedule. Friends described a man deeply committed yet often isolated, struggling to find moments of normalcy amidst chaos. The emotional climax intensified during periods of public controversy. Tweets that sparked backlash, clashes with regulators, and media criticism added layers of stress and scrutiny. Yet Elon's resilience shone through as he navigated these storms, sometimes with blunt honesty and vulnerability, sometimes with defiant humor. The chapter explores how Elon sought coping mechanisms, whether through intense work, moments of reflection, or relying on a close circle of trusted confidants. It also touches on his interest in futuristic therapies and biohacking techniques aimed at enhancing health and cognitive function. Amidst the pressure, there were moments of profound insight and transformation. Elon recognized the necessity of self-care and delegation, gradually learning to trust his teams and step back when needed. He began advocating publicly for mental health awareness, sharing his experiences to reduce stigma and encourage openness among entrepreneurs and leaders. This chapter does not shy away from the cost of ambition, the loneliness, the sacrifices, and the risk of burnout. Yet it also highlights the human capacity to endure and adapt. Elon's story at this emotional climax reveals a man not invincible but profoundly human, grappling with the same vulnerabilities as those who admire him. The narrative balances the harsh realities of pressure with a message of hope, that self-awareness, support, and resilience are vital to sustaining a life of purpose. As this chapter closes, readers are invited to reflect on the true price of greatness and the importance of compassion, for others and oneself. Elon Musk's emotional climax is a powerful reminder that behind every visionary is a person navigating complexity, striving to balance dreams with well-being. In the aftermath of personal and professional challenges, Elon Musk's story takes a hopeful turn marked by breakthrough innovations and strategic partnerships that began to reshape the trajectory of his companies and his vision for the future. This chapter explores how perseverance through adversity led to renewed momentum, new collaborations, and the exciting potential of synergistic progress across multiple industries. After the intense period of stress and sacrifice, Elon and his teams emerged stronger, armed with hard-earned lessons and a clear sense of purpose. Tesla's production stabilized, and the Model 3 became a symbol of accessible electric transportation, with sales surging and the company reaching profitability. This milestone validated years of struggle and reaffirmed the mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. At the same time, SpaceX achieved unprecedented successes. The Falcon Heavy's inaugural flight marked a new era of heavy lift capability, and contracts with NASA for commercial crew missions signaled increasing trust from the space community. Elon's vision for Mars colonization moved closer to reality as the Starship prototype series advanced rapidly, despite ongoing technical challenges. Neuralink also took steps forward, gaining regulatory approval for initial human trials, a significant milestone in bridging brain-machine technology with clinical application. A key theme of this chapter is the emergence of partnerships that expanded Elon's impact. Tesla collaborated with battery suppliers to improve energy density and reduce costs, while SpaceX's partnerships with international space agencies and commercial satellite companies broadened its global reach. These collaborations demonstrated the power of combining expertise, resources, and shared goals to accelerate innovation. Elon also forged relationships beyond the tech world, engaging with governments, environmental organizations, and academic institutions. These alliances helped navigate regulatory hurdles, align with public interests, and enhance research capabilities. The narrative captures moments of excitement as new projects took shape. Tesla's expansion into energy storage and solar products, SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet network aiming to connect underserved regions, and Neuralink's promise to transform medicine and human cognition. The chapter highlights the evolving role of leadership in this phase. Elon balanced visionary thinking with strategic management, empowering talented executives and fostering a culture of innovation and accountability. He increasingly embraced open communication, sharing progress updates and inviting public engagement, strengthening the company's reputations and customer loyalty. Emotional tone shifts to one of cautious optimism. Challenges remained, but the renewed energy and tangible successes provided motivation and confidence. Elon's personal growth, reflected in his openness about struggles and commitment to sustainable work habits, resonated across his teams, creating a more resilient organization. This chapter also emphasizes the ripple effects of Elon's breakthroughs on the broader industry and society. Tesla's mainstream success pressured traditional automakers to invest aggressively in EVs. SpaceX's cost reductions lowered barriers to space exploration, enabling a new wave of scientific research and commercial activity. Neuralink's advances sparked global discussions about the future of human-machine interfaces and ethical frameworks. As the chapter concludes, readers witness a moment of rising hope, a turning point where perseverance yields progress and the vision of a better future becomes increasingly attainable. Elon Musk's story at this juncture inspires belief in the power of innovation, collaboration, and resilience to overcome obstacles and create meaningful change. As Elon Musk's companies reached new heights of innovation and market influence, they also found themselves increasingly embroiled in conflicts with regulatory bodies, political actors, and a scrutinizing public. This chapter dives into the mounting tension between rapid technological progress and the complexities of governance, illustrating how Elon and his enterprises navigated a storm of legal challenges, safety concerns, and public debate. Tesla's expansion into electric vehicles and autonomous driving placed it at the forefront of emerging regulatory landscapes. The company's autopilot system, while hailed as revolutionary, became the center of safety investigations after high-profile accidents. Regulators demanded greater transparency and stricter standards, leading to clashes over data sharing, liability, and certification processes. Elon's outspoken communication style often intensified these conflicts, as tweets and public statements sometimes antagonized officials or fueled misinformation. SpaceX, meanwhile, faced its own regulatory hurdles. Launch licenses, frequency spectrum allocations for Starlink satellites, and environmental impact assessments became battlegrounds for approval. International regulatory regimes added layers of complexity as SpaceX expanded its global footprint. The chapter explores specific episodes, such as delays in launch approvals, fines for safety violations, and tense negotiations with agencies like the FAA and FCC. The regulatory storm reflected broader societal debates about balancing innovation with public safety, privacy, and ethical considerations. Elon's vision frequently outpaced existing frameworks, raising questions about how governments should adapt to rapid technological change. This tension sparked public scrutiny as well, with media outlets and advocacy groups raising alarms over worker conditions at Tesla factories, potential monopolistic behaviors, and the societal impact of emerging technologies like Neuralink. Elon's high-profile persona both helped and hindered these dynamics. While his transparency and charisma inspired many, his controversial remarks and unpredictable behavior drew criticism and skepticism. Internally, these pressures required delicate management. Elon's leadership style, often direct and uncompromising, clashed with the more cautious approaches favored by regulators and some board members. Navigating this landscape demanded legal expertise, diplomacy, and strategic concessions without compromising core innovation goals. The narrative details moments of crisis, regulatory investigations threatening product launches, public relations challenges, and boardroom tensions. Yet it also shows how Elon's teams adapted, implementing enhanced safety protocols, engaging in dialogue with stakeholders, and leveraging public support to influence policy. The chapter captures the emotional roller coaster, frustration, defiance, and cautious optimism, as Elon balanced the demands of governance with the imperative to innovate. The regulatory storm also prompted broader reflections on the role of leadership in pioneering fields. Elon's approach highlighted the tension between disruption and responsibility, raising questions about how visionaries can drive progress while respecting societal norms and legal frameworks. This ongoing conflict underscored the reality that transformative technology cannot exist in a vacuum and must engage with complex social and political realities. As the chapter closes, the storm is far from over, but Elon Musk and his companies demonstrate resilience and adaptability. The challenges ahead remain daunting, but the experience gained in navigating these turbulent waters prepares them for the next phase of growth and impact. This chapter offers readers a nuanced view of innovation's costs and the intricate dance between ambition and accountability in shaping the future. The culmination of decades of dreaming, engineering, and relentless pursuit finally converged in one defining moment, the first crewed flight of SpaceX's Starship to Mars. This chapter captures the climactic journey, blending suspense, drama, and the human spirit as Elon Musk's vision steps beyond imagination into reality. The months leading to the launch were filled with anticipation, tension, and meticulous preparation. Every system underwent rigorous testing, life support, propulsion, navigation, and communication, each critical for the unprecedented mission. The Starship itself, towering and gleaming, stood as a testament to human ingenuity, engineered to carry dozens of astronauts and cargo across millions of miles. Elon's leadership during this period was intense yet inspiring. He balanced a relentless focus on safety and technical excellence with a message of hope and unity, rallying teams and the global audience who had followed the mission from its inception. The launch day was a worldwide event, broadcast live with millions watching. As the engines roared to life and Starship ascended, a collective breath was held. The rocket's graceful climb through Earth's atmosphere, transitioning into the void of space, was a visual symphony of technology and ambition. The crew, a diverse group of scientists, engineers, and explorers, embodied humanity's collective dream to become a multiplanetary species. Their faces revealed a mix of excitement, nerves, and determination, aware of the historic weight on their shoulders. The journey to Mars was far from easy. The crew faced challenges including micrometeoroid impacts, communication delays, and the psychological strain of isolation in confined spaces. Vivid descriptions convey the sensory experience, the endless starfield outside the windows, the hum of machines, the camaraderie and tensions that unfolded. On approaching Mars, the complexity of orbital insertion and landing demanded precision and nerves of steel. The moment Starship touched down on Martian soil was electric, a triumphant blend of relief and exhilaration. The crew stepped out onto the alien terrain, their footprints marking humanity's first steps on another planet. The chapter explores the emotional resonance of this moment, the awe of discovery, the humility of confronting an inhospitable world, and the courage to begin building a new home. Scientific exploration began immediately, with the crew deploying instruments to study the environment, extract resources, and set up preliminary habitats. Elon's dream of a self-sustaining colony started taking tangible form, a complex dance of technology, human spirit, and survival instincts. This climactic journey is also a meditation on human resilience and the transformative power of collective effort. It highlights how decades of failure, innovation, and sacrifice culminated in a moment that redefined possibility. Elon Musk's vision, once dismissed as fantasy, became a beacon for future generations. As the chapter closes, the crew looks back at Earth, a fragile blue dot, reminding readers of the shared origins and future of humanity. The mission to Mars is a testament to dreaming big, overcoming adversity, and expanding the horizon of what it means to be human. The success of SpaceX's first crewed Mars mission marked a historic victory for humanity, but it also revealed profound emotional and psychological dimensions, the human cost and triumph behind the epic journey. This chapter explores the inner lives of the astronauts, the personal sacrifices, the moments of doubt and hope, and the enduring spirit that carried them through the most challenging adventure ever attempted. From the outset, the mission demanded extraordinary resilience. The crew faced isolation unlike anything experienced before, months away from Earth, confined within the metal walls of Starship, far beyond the reach of immediate help or comfort. The psychological toll was immense. Feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and homesickness surfaced repeatedly. The chapter brings readers into the crew's intimate conversations, private reflections, and coping mechanisms. They relied on close bonds formed in training, shared rituals, and communication with Earth, even with the inevitable time delays. Elon Musk, watching from mission control, understood the human stakes as deeply as the technical ones. He often spoke publicly about the importance of mental health, emphasizing that the future of space exploration depended as much on psychological endurance as on engineering prowess. The astronauts' backgrounds, scientists, engineers, medical doctors, and explorers, contributed uniquely to their collective strength. Each brought a story of perseverance and passion that fueled their commitment to the mission. The chapter highlights personal moments, a crew member's birthday celebrated with a simple cake and songs transmitted from Earth, the quiet grief over lost connections back home, the exhilaration of witnessing the Martian sunrise, and the tension of critical system failures overcome through teamwork. Yet beyond individual experiences, the mission symbolized humanity's collective hope and ambition. The astronauts became representatives of all who dreamed of exploration and progress. Their success inspired millions, serving as a reminder of what determination and cooperation can achieve. However, the mission was not without sacrifice. Some crew members faced permanent physical effects from radiation exposure and the rigors of space travel. Relationships on Earth strained under prolonged separation. The emotional climax lay in balancing these costs with the profound achievement. The chapter also reflects on the broader societal impact. How the Mars mission transformed perceptions of human potential and reshaped priorities for science, technology, and environmental stewardship. Elon Musk's vision, realized through this journey, challenged humanity to rethink its place in the cosmos and its responsibilities to the Earth and beyond. As the chapter draws to a close, it offers a poignant meditation on courage and resilience, the personal and collective qualities necessary to pursue dreams that transcend ordinary limits. The Mars mission stands not only as a technological triumph but as a testament to the enduring human spirit, a narrative of sacrifice, hope, and the relentless quest for meaning beyond our home planet. As the dust settled on the Martian surface and the cheers echoed back on Earth, the arc of Elon Musk's journey reached its final, transformative chapter, not just a culmination of personal ambition but a profound reflection on what it means to leave a legacy. This chapter draws together the threads of his life's work, the emotional trials, the relentless drive, and the pioneering spirit that has reshaped entire industries and inspired generations. With Tesla, Elon had already transformed transportation. Electric vehicles were no longer fringe concepts, they were the future. Nearly every major automaker now had EVs in production, many modeled on the principles Tesla had championed for years: battery-first design, over-the-air updates, and sustainability woven into performance. The gigafactories, once derided as overreaches, now supplied batteries not only for cars but for entire cities' energy grids. Tesla Energy had expanded to become a global provider of residential and commercial storage, helping to stabilize renewable power and democratize energy access. Cities around the world operated with cleaner air and more resilient power infrastructure, a vision long sketched out in Elon's early master plan. But perhaps it was Neuralink that came closest to revealing Elon's innermost hopes and fears. While controversial and still in its infancy, the brain-computer interface had already begun helping patients with paralysis regain some motor functions. It also opened doors to the unimaginable, direct thought-to-text interfaces, early enhancements of memory recall, and potentially the framework for a digital consciousness. Elon had always warned about the risks of AI, and Neuralink represented his answer: if we cannot beat the machines, we must join them. The reflection in this chapter becomes philosophical. Elon was no longer just the CEO or inventor. He had become a symbol of a broader question: what kind of future are we building, and what price are we willing to pay to get there? Critics still argued he moved too fast, bent rules, and took liberties with ethics. But even his critics couldn't deny the scale of what he had achieved. His life had become a study in contradiction, an intensely private man who lived so publicly, a technologist driven by deeply human concerns. The return of the first Mars crew brought with it a shift in public consciousness. The mission had not only proven that interplanetary travel was possible, it had humanized it. Watching the crew, once silhouettes in spacesuits, now stand before the world recounting their experiences, stirred something universal, a reminder that curiosity, unity, and resilience could overcome the impossible. Elon did not claim the spotlight during their return. He appeared briefly, standing quietly among engineers and family members, eyes misted as he watched children wave Martian flags and reporters attempt to grasp the scale of what had just happened. He didn't need to say much. His silence spoke of awe, relief, and a kind of spiritual closure. The chapter reflects on Elon's evolution as a leader. In his early years, he had driven teams through sheer will and punishing hours. Now, he delegated more, mentored others, and focused on vision and alignment. He had seen too many friends and colleagues burn out, relationships fracture, and health sacrificed in the name of progress. His later leadership carried a softness that had once been elusive, a humility forged through fire. And he had learned, perhaps more than anything, that the real measure of success was not in valuation or headlines, but in how deeply an idea could touch people's lives. The resolution here is layered and emotional. From Tesla to Neuralink to Mars, Elon had always pushed forward, always looked beyond the present horizon. But now, the reflection turned inward. He spoke more often of legacy, not in terms of personal fame, but of the seeds planted, the doors opened, the tools left behind for others to build upon. His children were growing into their own identities. He spent more time with them, no longer believing the lie that work alone could save the world. In long walks or quiet dinners, they talked about Earth, about stars, about what it meant to dream responsibly. It's not about escaping Earth, he once told them, it's about loving it enough to imagine more. The emotional weight of this moment is not just an achievement, but an acceptance, of limits, of time, of mortality. Elon Musk would not live forever, and he knew that. But the ideas he championed, sustainable energy, multiplanetary existence, human-machine synthesis, were no longer fantasies. They were blueprints. His role had shifted from builder to mentor, from protagonist to catalyst. And he was at peace with that. The story ends not with a launch or a tweet, but with a quiet scene, Elon walking alone at Boca Chica, watching a test flight vanish into the sky. The wind from the Gulf carries the scent of salt and metal. Behind him, engineers work late, younger now than he was when he founded SpaceX. Ahead of him, the sky glows faintly red, Mars, shimmering like a distant ember. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? That's the question that echoes in the minds of readers as this story concludes, not just as an invitation to reflect, but as a passing of the torch. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that the future doesn't arrive on its own. It is imagined, engineered, struggled for, and sometimes, against all odds, achieved. In the end, the message is clear: life is full of surprises, but love will always lead the way. Love for discovery, for humanity, for possibility. And that, above all else, is what Elon Musk gave the world. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough?